Purves. So I basically have had a career in business, but now I suppose in the last little while I've been basically involved with a lot of environmental organisations, WWF, which I was president in Australia of. I sit on the national board of, the Wentworth Group, which I co-founded, and leading one of the peak industry bodies called EBA, and also help fund through a charitable trust various environmental activities, including today's event, AYCCs. Business sees that the world is changing, we're moving to a more sustainable basis, and they see a lot of opportunities in the green economy. Yes, sure, some companies might engage in just greenwash, but my perception of a lot of CEOs is that they see good opportunities for their business in a carbon-constrained world, and they're also getting a lot of push from employees and potential employees that they need to get with it and get on board what is going to be very much a green revolution. Businesses are the first to pick up on opportunities. They're always looking for a market niche. They're always looking for a competitive edge. You've got businesses like GE, which is one of the most admired US corporates, even though it's had a problem with its finance arm. The CEO of that business says he says his biggest future is in products and services in a carbon-constrained world. So really, a lot of companies now see this as not just something that they need to be in to look green and look cute. They're actually seeing this as where possibly their future growth of their businesses is going to be. And that's being driven from both ends, as I say, the employees, but also from the market. You can't say, well, if you act on climate, it's going to affect jobs. I mean, that's just a nonsense proposition. The green economy that we're moving towards is going to supply lots of new jobs and opportunities for employment. So I think it's a scare campaign run by some that if we do anything on climate change, it will affect jobs. I just don't accept that proposition at all. From the business perspective, you've only got to talk to, say, some of the service companies, and PricewaterhouseCoopers is a good example. They'll tell you when they go to recruit graduates that after how much money they're going to be possibly paid, the second most asked question is, what's the firm's attitude on sustainability and climate change? So, it's those things that are pushing business, not just finding new opportunities for products and services, it's also engaging with prospective new employees. We're progressively seeing packaging move, and a good example would be Unilever with some of their packaging away from bulky, carrying home a lot of liquids in the laundry detergent area, just taking home the concentrate. You're getting businesses are getting pushed from both ends, if you like, from prospective employees who want to know what companies' position in sustainability is, but also from consumers saying, well, those sort of products don't fit with my perception of where I want to position myself as somebody who's trying to live a little bit more sustainably than the previous generations. I think increasingly people are thinking about, the word that's used the most is footprint. People actually are thinking, well, how do I actually reduce my footprint? And we see that right through all areas, councils particularly with recycling of plastics and paper, etc. But I think people are also thinking about it in terms of how they get to work. Maybe they should catch public transport, maybe offsetting their carbon emissions when they travel. Some of the airlines make it quite easy, some of them don't. But I think people individually think they can do their bit. And I think we felt that today here at this event where youth saying we want action on climate, but I think also they're saying that they're quite excited about the new opportunities in a carbon-constrained world. We've seen, unfortunately, the climate debate seen by a lot of people as a left versus right, and that's a ridiculous premise. And I think that's not helped the cause of getting the climate debate further down the track. And I think it's really up to youth now to come out and say that. Youth isn't interested in old ideological wars between left and right. They want action on climate change, and they don't actually see it as left versus right. Particularly important in a number of ways. One is in research. We're seeing that they are more seen as more independent. That people who are doing work on universities can actually speak out a bit more freely on the research they're doing, versus the CSIRO, where it's seen very much as a government agency. But we all know that movements to affect social change traditionally have started at universities. That's the reality, and I think with climate, this is going to happen. And universities are probably a very good ground for youth who are going through their degrees to talk about climate, to talk about their future, and demand action from political leaders. We've seen it in other generations. Vietnam War obviously is the one that springs to mind, but I think we're going to see it with this generation on climate.